In the 1 John 5:19, it says the whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one. Now, the wicked one, of course, is Satan, the devil. His intentions is to turn everyone away from the God that we worship, Jehovah. So what he does, he tries to influence you.
That's right.
And tries to influence me.
That's right.
And everyone to think the way he thinks, to do things the way he wants.
There you go.
To be done. What we got to do is to find out what we need to do to please Jehovah.
That's correct.
And that way we know that we will be walking in that narrow road that leads to everlasting life, which Satan does not.
That's right.
Now I mentioned the expression that he's a god of this world. Well, now understand what that means. That means that he influences everyone he possibly can in this world to do things the way he wants to be done. And of course that would mean, as we can observe, troubles in various places, and racial discrimination, stealing, lying, all these things here that's happening. It's because of Satan the devil.
That's correct.
But then Jesus says some words in the book of Matthew. He says, but he that does the will of God will live forever. In other words, you never die.
That's the truth.
But what is it that they have to do to be able to live forever? Well, didn't Jesus say, I am the way, the truth, and the life?
That's correct.
See? So he wants us to follow his steps. Now, what did Jesus do for 3.5 years?
What did he do?
See, well, I say 3.5 years. He was baptized. He was in the wilderness, came out of the wilderness, and then for 3.5 years, he did what Jehovah wanted him to do. And of course, at the end of that time, as you probably know, he was put on a stake, and of course, he was killed because of that, crucified, they call it. See? Well, those 3.5 years, he gathered apostles, disciples and apostles, and he told them to take the good news, which has to do with that kingdom. He told them, tell them to go take it, bring it to people throughout the world, and that would be the responsibility of everyone that would be following his steps closely. That would take in years and generations after generations, right on up to today.
That's true.
So today, that work is being done throughout the entire world. You name the country: Spain, Italy, Russia, Germany, Newport, Rhode Island, where I'm from, all over. The good news of that kingdom is being brought to their attention. Now, the thing is, what are we going to do with it? Well, first of all, if one wants to gain everlasting life, they're going to have to find out about that kingdom. Jesus says, let your kingdom come, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, right?
That's right.
Well, we want to know what that kingdom is. And if we study the scriptures, we find out that kingdom is a government under the direction of Jehovah, the God of the universe. And that kingdom is going to bring about God's will on earth as it is in heaven, as the Lord's Prayer says. See? Brings out. See? Thing is, what we want to do is take advantage of it. In Jude 3, Matthew 24:14, these scriptures help you to appreciate that we have to do some reading, studying, digging to find out what Jehovah wants us to do. And like Jesus says, to do your will, oh my God, I have delighted. And Jesus told his followers to follow his steps closely. So you see the responsibility that we have. We'll have to do some searching. See, in other words, what most people are doing today are just living out their life and say, well, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, and they're just going along, not really finding out what they must do to follow Jesus' steps closely. And all you have to see and observe is what Jesus did for those 3.5 years after he came out of the wilderness. Then you got it.
That's true.
See?
I agree with every bit you said there.
Well, that's what the scriptures help us to appreciate.
And they'll find out one day, the ones that ain't following those terms, they will find out.
You got it, Tiger. And hopefully it won't be too late. Of course, some people might not have been able to have an opportunity to hear or to listen or to know.
That's true.
See? That's why Jesus says that this good news will be preached throughout the world. Many people will be contacted. Many people will be able to listen. Many people will be able to have an opportunity to make the decision. See? But of course, it'll be up to them. See? We don't force, coerce, or make anybody to do it. But like Jesus did, his apostles did, so we do today. Throughout the entire world, we help people to know all about that kingdom and what's going to come and the benefits that's going to be had.
That's true.
So, the idea we've got to take advantage of it.